1, 12, red Eiffel Tower, go!
The kids are counting sheep. When the kids go to sleep, dreams and memories. When the kids go to sleep.
Welcome to the podcast.
Just move the
Oh, did I?
light.
Sorry, Blake spent like 45 minutes setting that up. I'm a crazy man. You never know what I'm gonna do. Woo! Look how crazy I am! Oh, Blake, we picked that up.
That was so crazy.
Welcome to the podcast. It is podcast number 75. That's 65 in Spanish.
It's 65?
Dude, I messed up your lipstick.
I have lipstick on?
Say it again.
It's lip gloss.
65, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to When the Kids Go to Sleep right here in Los Angeles, New York City, County,
Wait,
Essex.
what?
We're
in New York now?
Where
are
we specifically right now? We're in Marina del... Is this Venice? Is this Venice or Culver City?
It's just a collaboration
Or
of all of those.
Okay, this is the podcast you love to download for free because it's free, and anything that's free you love. Why wouldn't you? Don't touch me!
I'm trying to get my lip gloss off your face.
Okay, so today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do what's called a boyfriend tag.
And girlfriend tag, I guess.
But we're married.
But
so
in
this is married tag.
commemoration of our first date month.
It is.
September.
It is honor of first date month. We're going to participate in boyfriend tag. A lot of people have been doing this on YouTube right now. Mm-hmm. And our 10-year wedding anniversary is coming up.
Yeah.
Pretty soon in a couple months.
Did you know it?
January.
What are we going to do? What are you going to get me? What? I did not laugh. That was not funny.
Sex is only to be had in the bounds of marriage, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about this.
But we can still talk about it anytime,
But once you
right?
get married, you should have lots of sex.
Where is this going?
I don't know.
The first question.
Are we just start? Wait a minute. I have an announcement. If you
Okay.
didn't hear in the vlog, we want you guys to start. We need something back here instead of just like different color lights. We want to make a banner. So
we don't want to make a banner.
We want you to make it for us.
You to make banners.
If you are inclined and you are artsy and you have supplies and crafts and stuff, we are going to use banners that you send to us. If you make one and send it to us,
what are the dimensions?
we will hang
guys?
it 6 feet by 4 feet, right? Yes.
Description below.
in the description below.
If you want the size thingies below.
If you want to know all the details about the banner that we would like you to make, please put it in. You will look in the description below.
Basically, you can make, when the kids go to sleep banner, it's 6 feet by 4 feet, and we'll hang it. And even if we get 15 of them, we will be able to use new ones every podcast.
We're gonna
and we'll
rotate
rotate
use
through
everybody's
'em.
banners.
Yeah,
it's
and
gonna
then
be fun.
we'll leave
right?
a P.O. box where you can send the
Yeah.
banners. But it's Brett's podcast. It's Brett's P.O. box.
in the description.
So don't
below.
send us some because Brett will steal it. He's a stealer.
Seriously.
Okay, let's begin. So we are going to do our boyfriend tag right now, and I guess there's a set of questions that we have to ask. And as we've been married 10 years, we should be good at these. We should be good at these. If we don't, then that means we should get a divorce.
What?
Okay, here we go. First
Talk
question.
about pressure.
Where was our first date? How does this work? Do we both just answer? And it's just like, okay, our first date was...
Labor Day,
September 3rd.
I don't know what the year was. 10 years ago.
11 years ago.
Oh, 11 years ago, yeah.
11 years ago, we went wakeboarding with my friend. I remember because this is so embarrassing. This is like, what's that Tommy Boy when he was trying to go through all the grades? Is that right? Tommy Boy when he's trying to, anybody remember?
What are you,
Billy
where
Madison.
Are you going
Billy
with
Madison. Remember in that movie when he has the little kid call the teacher to ask if she'll go out with him?
He did that.
Similar situation. I had my buddy Derek called, and I'm like, just see if she wants to come wakeboarding. And he's like, I'm like, don't tell her I'm here, because I was there at his house, and he's like, Shay wants to know if you'll go wakeboarding. I'm like, no, dude, shut up.
You
and he's
and
like,
your friends, though, you were good about making each other.
And he's like, here, talk to her. I'm like, pretend I'm not here.
I'm like,
it was embarrassing.
So what?
So we went wakeboarding together.
I thought it was cute.
And I was so impressed because she couldn't get up, but she didn't quit. She kept like, no, let me do it again. Let me do it again. And her like contact fell out at one point, and she kept trying and kept trying.
I was really trying.
Yeah.
I am not cool though.
And
so
then
it didn't work.
afterwards, we went to Subway.
No, and one of the things I remember most about it is he actually brought Logan. Logan was like 5. He was really little, and he brought Logan with him. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, that's so sweet. Look, he has his little brother, and he's taking care of him.
Which was the opposite for me because my mom made me take Logan. And I'm like,
I didn't know that, though. I thought it was so cute.
I would take my stupid little brother. Oh. But it ended up like working out because she thought I was so sweet. But I was like embarrassed about it. But my mom, she knew. That was good.
Mom's so smart.
That goes into the next question. What was your first impression of me?
I am supposed to ask the next question.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, bro.
You just ruined my first impression of you. No, my first impression of you was that you have really nice lips.
Yeah.
It's true.
I do. Did you really think that?
Mm-hmm.
Did you think I want to suck on
And I
those
thought you were
lips?
really shy. What? I thought he was really shy.
Yeah. You thought I was shy? I was. Can you believe that? I was nervous. Okay, growing up in high school, like I was a dude who wasn't shy. I've always been like this, like, you know, very outspoken and stuff. But I was nervous around her because I really liked her.
I'm so scared.
Here's my first impression of her. The very first time I ever saw her, a lot of you know the story, was she was on stage in a play. She played this role called Reno Sweeney in the play Anything Goes. And I just remember thinking, man, she is gorgeous. And she could sing. And I kept trying to pick things apart about her because I was like, she's like too perfect. And I'm like, maybe her butt's big. She has a big butt.
I do have a big butt.
And then I'm like, and then she like had a costume change. I'm like, no, it's just those pants she was wearing. She doesn't really have a big butt. It's like... Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
You never told me that you were picking me apart.
I was, because it's like I was like in the mood to get married. You know, I like woke up and I was like, I feel like getting married today. No, I was like home from my mission. I was like 21 years old and I was like ready to find the lady of my life. And so like I saw you and I was like, that could be a prospect right there.
That could be a prospect.
And I remember like trying to pick you apart and like, but like I was like, oh, she's just so
I'm
gorgeous.
just perfect. What can I say?
So it was good. Like I said, my
That's
first impression.
funny.
Oh, here's a little tip. When we went to Subway after our first date, she wanted to say a prayer before we started eating.
I'm such a goody.
And I was like, this is a little weird because we were in Subway and she's like,
that's funny because I'm surprised that I did that on
our first date. And she's like, do you mind if we say a prayer?
I don't think normally I would have done that.
And I was like, that's cool, bro. You say cool. It. And I was like, dear Heavenly Father, are you done yet? No,
that's
just kidding.
Funny. I don't remember that either.
Do you? Okay, so.
My turn.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, no, I said the last one. It's your turn.
Okay, do I have any weird obsessions? If so, what?
Shay does have some weird obsessions. The one that I'm thinking of is he loves to chew, like his teeth. He calls it itchy teeth. Like he likes to chew on plastic things. See? There's one example.
Can you see that, Blake?
Like the little
This is the twisty tie that comes off of the water bottle. Or like pen lids. Milk carton lids.
Pen lids.
Soft
Don't leave
plastic.
your pen lids around Shay because they will end up all
One day
chewed up.
her brother came over to our house and I had all these pens laying on my desk. He's like, "Oh, that sucks. Malachi chewed up all your pens." Our dog, our 150-pound Great Dane, and Colette's like, "Nope, that's Shay."
That's Shay.
And one Valentine's Day, to be sweet, she had collected like 20, you know, like when you take the milk off and there's that little thing?
I collected a bunch of items that reminded me of him.
And she collected like 20 of those and gave them to me to chew on them. I was like, they're so soft to chew on. I just love chewing on them. So that's funny that I had that right there. Weird obsession she has is with my body. It's like she can't have enough of it. No, it's not an obsession. I don't know, but maybe one thing that I can say that she does is she's a rabbit with her nose.
I am. I can't stop it.
When she's eating, she like goes like this with her nose. Do it.
It's like a weird sinus thing, like.
It's like a twitch.
Because
I
can't breathe through my nose when I eat, and so like I have to move it so I can breathe better.
But does it really help you breathe?
It does. It's like it's a subconscious? It's a subconscious thing now. I don't do it. And your mom was always like, Colette's got a rabbit nose again. I'm like, oh crap, I'm doing it. I can't tell. And then I'll try not to do it, and it's just like I can't breathe.
It's like your concentrating face. If you ever watch somebody play the guitar and they're like,
don't watch me eat, guys. It's embarrassing.
It's kind of like her concentrating thing she does with her nose. Okay, your turn.
No, I'm self-conscious. Do you have a tradition with your husband or wife?
Do we have a tradition?
Do we have a tradition yet? Yes.
What?
We have a tradition where we cannot lie to each other.
Oh, yeah.
And if we ever suspect, like if he's joking around and he says something and I'm questioning him, I can say no shaken and he has to tell me the truth.
When we first got married, we were listening to these like marriage tapes, like newlywed marriage tapes. Like, now that you're married, what do you do to stay married? And they talked about this thing where like sometimes in your newlyweds, and they gave the example of like, hey, let's go to my mom's this weekend. And it's like, do you want to go? She's like, yeah, sure. It's like, do you really want to go? Yeah, I really want to go. And then they came up with this phrase that if they said it, that they had to promise that they would never lie on. And so we came up with this phrase called no shaking. So if it's
I think they used like truly woolly or something like that. Like,
that was my ex-girlfriend's.
Oh, was?
Awkward.
You had more of these moments?
No, I think this girl that I used to date, her and her friends had the thing kind of like that, where they would say truly and woolly, like you can't lie on this thing. And so like we've used that a couple times where it's like no shaking. Like, did you?
Then you have to tell the truth.
Have you ever lied on no shaking?
No. Have you?
Maybe a few times. No shaking.
You can't lie. No, I can always tell too. I'll be like, no shaking. He'll be like, kind of. It's just kind of that way. If he can't answer.
We don't really have any specific traditions. We have like a few Christmas things, but nothing really. That's a lame question. What's the next one? What was our first road trip? Here's the thing that I wanted to say that I can't say.
You can't say it.
Our first road trip. I'm not going to say it.
I don't know what you're going to say. Don't talk.
What is considered a road trip? I guess because we drove to Vegas. Like, we got married.
Well, yeah, when we were married, we drove to Vegas. But we went...
Did we have a road trip before that? We drove to Salt Lake once. We never really had a long road trip together. Yeah. We had a few like 2-hour drives. I think the longest drive that we ever had, our first drive, was when we first got married. We drove 8 hours to Vegas. Mm-hmm. And it was a great drive. What's your favorite restaurant?
I don't know. What is my favorite restaurant?
That was a great story behind that, but I can't tell you. Our favorite restaurant, I would say, has to be...
Wingers.
Like, absolutely.
Why is he looking at me?
I was just going to make sure that you agree with that.
We love Wingers. I mean, I worked there for off and on to different locations for 7 years.
7? I feel like it gets longer every time you say it.
No, it's 7.
I thought it was like 5.
Nope.
7 years?
Always.
Are you sure?
It's been off and on because I worked there before when I was a senior in high school.
That's true.
And then
okay, so if you don't
college,
Wingers
and after
is
we
like
got married.
It's like a 50s style burger joint with like wings and ribs.
So good. Oh. It's the only place I know. A lot of people that work at restaurants don't eat the food at the restaurant, but it's so good.
It's in our veins. It's kind of like sequestered to the like Idaho, Utah area. I don't think it's
West
anywhere
Coast.
West, but they're not in California. I think it's like only like Idaho, Utah area. For some reason. Anyways, when we first met, she was working at Wingers. When we were going to college, she worked there to pay her tuition to go to school. She didn't take out any loans. I was always so impressed about that she would work as a waitress all summer long and work her butt off and save up her money so that she could pay her own tuition into college. She never took out Pell Grants. She never took out student loans. She just worked her butt off as a waitress, and she paid her own tuition, her own books. Which I was always like, money, that's pretty cool. When all these other college students are like, I got to get a student loan. I got to get Pell Grants. She was working her butt off. And
Pell Grants are nice, though, because they're not a loan.
It's free money. But anyways, so she was working at Wingers when we very first met. There's a lot of funny stories of like when she was there at work, I would go and leave notes on her car. Mm-hmm. There was this another story where I went to this ski movie and I won this like really nice women's Rip Curl watch. And I was like, that's a sweet watch. I'm going to give it to Colette. So I one night went to Wingers while she was working and I was going to try to put it in her car. And her window was down like this much. And I was like, trying to get my arm in it, and my arm gets like stuck in the window. I'm like, my arm was like stuck and the box is inside the window. And then she comes walking out and there was this other dude who was like kind of dating her at the time.
He was
not
dating me.
My nose itches. You were kind of like, he wanted to date you. Like he was trying, like he was pursuing her as well. And he was like this big football player. He's like the 6'6", 250. He was like a linebacker for the college football team. Huge dude. And I'm like this little ski bum, like trying to like break into her car. So I remember this is like one of my most embarrassing moments. She comes walking out of Wingers and that guy is there and they're standing there talking. And I'm probably like 40 yards away, like my arm like half stuck in her car.
I don't think we saw you yet.
They didn't see me, but I saw them, and I was like, oh, crap. There's that dude and Colette. I'm like, but then they look over and they see me, and I'm like, at her car. It looks like I'm trying to break in her car. Like, what is he doing? And I was just like, oh no, it's so embarrassing. And anyway, so then, long story short, we got married, and then she worked at Wingers for a long time while we got married, and that tip money helped us buy groceries for a long time, actually. The tips she made for working as a waitress. So not only has it kind of like been a main staple of our relationship, but like the freaking, if you ever go to Wingers, get the creamy buffalo sauce. I think they call it Creamy Amazing.
It's Creamy Amazing now. They changed the names and they've changed the menu a lot.
And it's basically like their wing sauce mixed with the ranch, and they have like the best ranch.
Really good ranch.
And you just dip the fries in. I don't
care. It is not low fat.
Yeah, I don't care about weight loss or shay loss. When we go into, and there's a Wingers, I go and I freaking splurge. I get the burger, I get the wings, I eat half the kids' Alfredo, I drink a Coke. Oh, I want it right now. Next question.
What do we argue about the most? What do we argue about? The most?
One thing that we got in an argument about recently is driving. Because she's very timid, and she's very...
I think I'm more timid. It was funny because we actually just took a test for this Dave Ramsey thing that we're doing, and the chart was like, there's 4 categories, and you're like either higher on lower on ones, but mine was like all like this, and his was like this.
We're exact opposites, basically.
Opposites. It was hilarious.
I was like type A personality, aggressive, and she's like the other, like caring, nurturing. But I said, I'm like, if you flip those graphs, like if you flip one over, then we fit together perfectly. Like,
I think that's probably where our arguments come from, is just different points of view.
Yeah.
Like I'm more timid, cautious, and obviously he's not.
For instance, we were in Vegas. We were driving back to Los Angeles from this last trip, and we were going to stop in Vegas to get some food, and she was driving. And that, I would say, probably the most, if you were to look over the whole 10 years of our marriage.
Are we driving?
The most fights that we've gotten in fights about is probably while you were driving. Because I'm like, get over.
Because you're trying to be a backseat driver.
And she's like, stop yelling at me. I'm like, well, because then she was trying to get over to get off this exit. And she's like, can I get over? And it was like last second. I'm like, yes, go. And you're like, and she didn't do it. I'm like, get over. And she didn't do it. And I was like, why didn't you get over? I said you could get over.
And that's another thing, is he's a very good arguer. I can, like, in my head, I see why I'm right, but I can't spit it out. So usually the arguments
I would say it's about her being a freaking wussy behind the wheel. That's what we argue about.
And him being a little bit crazy. Ugh.
Who wears the pants in the relationship?
Me. No. I do. It's me.
I would say...
I think we share the pants.
It's a little game we play too called Share the Pants.
Why did I think that was so funny?
Because that's why you left me. I would say it's a two-way street. Like, I would say I think I'm in charge most of the time, but if Colette's not down for it, then it's not happening.
But if he can't find anything in the house,
oh yeah,
who always knows where everything is?
I don't know where anything is.
I think
that just shows that I'm
we
a
just
bad
have different
husband.
roles. I mean, you're in charge of like business, money. I mean, we kind of share the money, but like school stuff, like I know everything that's going on in the school and what the kids are doing. I don't know, like we just share.
I would say we have pretty traditional roles as man and wife. Like I'm definitely like the breadwinner, but like in charge of that stuff. But we definitely take turns. Like I did the dishes last night. You know what I mean? We both put the kids to bed.
Yeah.
Who wears the pants?
I do.
She does. She has that role where it's like I feel like I wear the pants, but underneath it all, she's the one.
You wear the pants.
She's like the mat.
Shay wears the pants.
She lets me think that I wear the pants, but really she's the one cinching up the belt. All right.
I don't know. We like to share pants, though.
Your turn.
If I am watching TV, what am I watching?
Some like stupid chick flick, like
Pride and Prejudice.
Pride and Prejudice.
I'm like, no, go back.
Any Lifetime movie
That's when
that has
Mr.
like
Darcy comes and saves her.
Any movie that's like where everybody's happy and in love and there's rainbows and mushrooms at the end. I don't know what about mushrooms, marshmallows. Anything where it's like warm and happy, like that's what she's watching. We don't watch TV that much.
Yeah, we watch YouTube.
What am I watching if I'm watching TV?
Shay likes, movies or TV. Like, that's totally different. Right now, we're watching a lot of politics because of the recent presidential elections coming up. So
I've been watching a lot of CNN, MSNBC, Fox.
I think for most part, though, Shay's really well-rounded. Like, he let me watch Pride and Prejudice, and he sat through and watched it with me. But I like things that make you feel good and are happy. None of this drama. I hate drama shows. Like, I like the Kardashians. I do watch the Kardashians.
I see I'll be flipping through and I'll see Keeping Up with the Kardashians and I'll feel like I want to click on it, but I feel like it's a sin. I feel like I shouldn't watch that. That is such a waste of time. And it's like you're watching this stupid drama. And then out of that whole family, you know who's my favorite is that dude what's her name's husband? Scott Disick. I like that dude. I think he's my favorite Kardashian. And you know who's my least favorite? Kim.
Really?
She's like such a spoiled brat.
I don't think you know. See, that's the
I
thing.
don't know. We don't know. You can't judge these people's lives.
Because reality TV isn't exactly reality TV.
Right. Kanye, if you're listening, I apologize.
There's definitely parts that I'm like, that is staged.
She's the hottest, though. Staged. Kim's definitely the best looking.
Well,
but I've heard that in real life, what's the other sister? Not Courtney, but is it Courtney?
Chloe.
Chloe. Which one's which?
Chloe is married to
Lamar. I heard she's actually really pretty in real life. Like even some people, I heard that she was even prettier than Kim in real life. But Kim's
camera
hot.
adds a couple shades of ugly. I don't know.
You kind of look like Kim Kardashian.
I'm not a brat.
You need to have a bigger butt.
Do you think I'm a brat? Oh, I know. She has a great butt.
It's huge.
Why are we still talking about the Kardashians?
Okay.
What is one food that I do not like?
Anything with sugar she likes.
I do like anything with sugar.
What's something I don't like? A food I don't like.
You don't really like tomatoes, but you eat them.
Yeah.
With certain things. What don't you like?
We like everything. We eat a lot.
I remember him saying one thing earlier in our marriage, that you don't really like casseroles. Is that true?
Probably. Like anything. I don't really like rice that much.
Like anytime I would make like chicken and rice dish,
it just
never
seems
really
like
liked that.
Casserole seems like a leftover meal to me, where it's
it
like
is.
You just throw all the crap in one pot, and I'm just like,
and it's good.
I don't like it. But I mean, we're not that picky.
Yeah.
What size shoe do I wear? This is always confuses me because at Christmas time, I'm like at the shoe store. I'm like, is it 7 or 7.5? You're 7, right?
7.5 usually.
7.5. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna remember. This is a life moment. Remember that podcast.
Totally, okay, you have to do 7 or 7.5,
depending on the shoe.
It depends on the shoe, totally.
What size shoe do I wear?
10.5.
That's pretty big, right?
For a while, it was 11.
It was 11 when I honestly, I had a bigger shoe when I was fat. I think there was like 5 pounds wrapped around my feet. So
but you and Centaur both have wider feet.
Yeah, they're really wide. You know what that means, right? You know what they say about people with really wide feet?
Bigger shoes.
No, huge.
I'm punching you.
Inappropriate.
What is one talent?
Should we cut that part out?
This is not family friendly today, guys. What is one talent I have?
She can sing like Mother Teresa. I don't know if Mother Teresa could sing, but you...
We're supposed to say this about each other, right?
That's what I'm saying about you.
Wait, so you never told me what food I don't like?
Oh, I don't know. What do you not like?
Okay. What is one talent I have?
She can sing. Definitely can sing. And, I don't know. She's a good singer. That's about it. That's about all she can do.
I love you.
No, Coletta's a very good listener. She's very nurturing. Our kids adore her.
One is fine, honey. It says 1.
Okay.
You don't have to keep going. Okay. Awkward. Okay. What is one talent you have? Shay is very... What's the word?
She's trying to think of something.
I love him so much.
You can't even think of one talent I have?
I'm trying to think of the word. Assertive. Not assertive.
That's a horrible talent. That's not a talent.
No, it's not. You're like a people person. People love you. When you walk into a room, everybody's eyes light up because it's Shay. The party has started. Shay's here. That's Shay's personality. That's not
like a talent.
People love him. I think it is.
What is the definition of a talent?
But other talent,
I want to learn to play the guitar. Guess that doesn't matter. That's not really a talent.
Yeah. You're talented, like you're very agile. Like anything you try, you can get good at fast.
I'm a ninja.
I feel like that. Yeah.
What?
I'm not sure I approve that sound effect.
You need to run all sound effects by Colette first. All right. What is something you do that I wish you didn't? Oh, what is something you do that I wish you didn't? Oh. Here's one thing I'll say, and this is going back to the driving thing.
Okay.
Because I am like very daring and
It's all open. Nobody's going to get offended here.
Kind of a risk taker. And so, like, I remember one thing that I remember saying as, like, a high school kid is, like, when I remember there's one girl that would, like, drop in on this half pipe. And I was like, that's so cool. She's so crazy. And I was always like, I'm going to marry a girl who's crazy and will just do crazy things. And Mommy Tart is very...
Not crazy.
She's very, like, careful. Don't get hurt. Like, I don't know. Like, very cautious. But I think in retrospect, that's very good for me because I am so the other end of the spectrum, just like balls to the wall, like, let's do it. And she, a lot of times, reins me in. Like, come on, Shay. Like, be careful. Watch out. Nope, don't hang the kids by their toes. You know what I mean?
It's probably not a good idea.
So that's one thing, like, I was always thinking, like, I wish she was a little bit more crazy.
But I think that we complement each other because you've definitely helped me to overcome a lot of that. Because I think in the beginning I was a little bit too fearful of things, and now I'm not as much.
That's definitely true.
We've
like,
helped each other.
For instance, remember when we were dating one time at my parents' old house, and I tried to lift you up over my head? That was the first time that I ever saw you angry, and I think this was before we even got married. Remember, it was my parents' old house, and I tried to pick you up, and you're like, put me down, and her face got like all red, and she was like mad, and I was like, whoa, that was like the first time I ever seen her get mad. Because she was like afraid of heights.
She's definitely not crazy.
Me picking her up. But now, like, for instance, we just went camping and there was a hole in the top of the trailer and I had to have her climb up there to put this mat on it. So she steps on my hands and I pick her up like this. So she's standing on my hands and climbs on top of this trailer to put this mat on. So she's...
I think that part of that, though, is... because what I said earlier, your talent to be like really agile, it's because I've never ever seen you hurt. Like you've never hurt any of the kids whenever you've thrown them up. Like he's very trustworthy in that way. Like
Never
if he
drop
says,
one.
I will not drop you, he will not drop it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you trust me.
I trust you a lot.
Over time. Okay, so be honest. What's one thing that I do that you wish I didn't do?
Sometimes you chew really, really loud.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I think it's because he got his nose broken a couple times, so his sinuses are a little backed
You've
up
never
sometimes.
told me that.
I've told you that before.
That I chew really loud?
Sometimes you
like
chew
my
loud.
gum or my food?
Both.
Oh,
Not really gum.
I'm embarrassed.
I don't think you chew gum that loud.
I think what happens is I get into... I guess I need to just be conscious of my surroundings.
But see, it doesn't bother me because I like when you're relaxed and you can just chew in front of me. It's like, you know, I think that sometimes in our marriage, if I'm really irritated about something else, that can bother me.
Right.
But it's one thing that doesn't really, like, it's not one of those deal breakers.
Right.
You know what I mean?
See, that's something that, like, when you're first meeting and you're on a date, I would definitely, like, you eat nice and you eat polite. But now it's like, I'm just enjoying this cheeseburger.
I'm really wanting to eat this cheeseburger the way I want to eat it.
Right. You just want to relax. You don't want to care about what anybody thinks, so you're just eating it. I'm gonna work on that. I'm sorry.
But I don't want, see, that's one of those things.
I know, but that's
I
just
want
like...
you to enjoy your food without having to, like...
I can only imagine when I'm chomping on granola. I'm just like...
I actually, it's turned into one of those things that's sort of endearing about you. So don't change now.
Because I remember eating breakfast with my dad, and when he would eat his cereal, he'd always go... Like when he would like suck the cereal
My
in.
dad does that too.
And I'd be like, stop it. And you'd be sitting there and it's like grinding on you. It's like, shh, stop it. Like you don't want to say anything. So now I'm like that person who's just, I'm disgusting fat slob, okay? I'm not doing this. I'm out of here.
Wait, we have one more question,
Okay,
babe. If I could live anywhere, where would it be? So are we supposed to answer this about each other? Like, I'm supposed to guess? Okay. If you could live anywhere, where it would be? In my heart. Wherever I am.
I'd just be chewing the shit out of some wings in your heart. Bleep that out. No, be honest. Where would
Oh. The thing about Shay is he wants to change every 2 months. He gets tired of a place. I remember not a couple months, probably like 6 months ago, you're like, let's move to Alaska and be fishermen. I'm like, what? Because you were getting into that like crab show or whatever where they
I was watching
fishing.
the gold show.
Gold mining.
Gold mining.
miners.
What's it called? Anyways, where they're like mining gold. And I'm like, I've done that. And that's a funny question because we haven't counted recently.
I think that we just want to live in the world and explore everywhere.
Right. Because we have literally lived in 15 different locations over the 10 years. Let's talk about states. We've lived in Idaho, Utah, Arizona, North Carolina, California,
You lived in Texas.
I lived in Texas before we got married. But so in our 10 years marriage, we've lived in 5 different states. And within those 5 states, we've moved around multiple times. So I kind of sometimes get anxious and get like bored of like the everyday of it all and just want to.
That's the difference.
I want to see new things and new places.
Too.
There was a time where I'm like, let's move to Hawaii. We can move to Hawaii. We do YouTube. We can do it anywhere in the world. Let's move to Hawaii. That's like
I'm always like,
that's like the dream place to live, Hawaii. Let's do it. So I've wanted to move to Alaska and Hawaii, which I would have done if she would have been like, okay, we would be living there right now. But those were like 2 specific times where she's like, no, we're not moving to Alaska and we're not moving to Hawaii. Because I would have. Right, I swear I would have moved to those places, but she said no. Okay, so I think, honestly, if I were to say, I think you would probably say Idaho.
I don't know. I'm really liking it here.
She does like it here in California now. Like, she hates the cold.
I do.
And so when...
I just like to have family around. That's the only thing. If our whole family would move here, that would be the perfect life. But whatever. Yeah. 2 minutes left. We're getting the wrap up.
When we go to lunch after this, I'm gonna get soup and I'm gonna slurp it so loud.
And I'm gonna do this the whole time with my nose.
So if you ever go to dinner with us, I chew really loud and she's a rabbit.
And I'm a rabbit.
Yeah. All right, well, that is our boyfriend tag.
That was fun. We should do that again.
Are we closer? We're more in love. We know more about each other. Do your own boyfriend tag.
Yes.
And find out who that person is that's in your life next to you. Hopefully this is entertaining.
We love you guys.
Yeah, thanks for joining us on the podcast. Join us next time. We're going to have a guest from the smash hit YouTube show, Annoying Orange. We're going to talk all about Annoying Orange and the cartoon on YouTube and Cartoon Network. It's going to be exciting. Join us on Friday and check that out. And don't forget to send us banners. We're going to hang them here. Download the link below and love us forever.
We love you. Bye.